Buying a car can be challenging. A lot of people don't know how to do it the right way and to get the best deal possible. So if you want to sound like you know exactly what you're doing and actually know what you're doing, I'm going to give you 3 things that you should always know before you buy a used or a new vehicle. Let's hop into the video. This is a stock number, and this is what dealerships across the world use to identify their inventory. And if you give a stock number to a salesman or somebody at the dealership, you're going to sound like you know exactly what you're doing. You can find it on the vehicle or you can find it online. I do recommend before you ever start negotiating anything, your trade-in value, any of the things you can negotiate in a car deal, you got to figure out the car you want, and you want to get it isolated down to the stock number. So when you show up to the dealership or you call, you say, hey, I want to talk about this car in this stock number. So that's advice number 1. Know the car you want to negotiate on. While you're doing your research, you want to look at similar makes and models that people have bought online. You can do this 2 ways. 1, there are forums where people literally tell you the deals that they have gotten on that exact car, or you can call around dealership to dealership and get their best prices and match and compare them, and then you will use those as leverage to buy the car you actually want to buy. So you can call dealership A and say, what's your best deal on this car? And then you can call dealership B and dealership C and dealership D. It's a little bit easier to just go online and find out what other people are paying. All this information is available though. So that's number 1. You want to find out the car you want, then do your research on that car and figure out what type of discounts people are getting. Some people are getting 10% off MSRP on certain cars, some 20%. Some people are getting no discounts because they're very sought after. And you need to know that before you go to the dealership, because you're going to sound like an idiot if you ask for a discount on cars that people are actually paying over MSRP. So you need to know the car you want to buy and know what other people are paying so you can find out if you're getting a good deal. Let's hop into number 2. Tip number 2 is how do you get the most money for your trade-in? And the absolute best way to do this is to go onto a website like Carvana and get an actual buy now number. This is a number that Carvana will buy my trade-in for right this second. This isn't a range. This isn't a maybe number. This isn't an estimated number. They will come, send a flatbed out, and buy my car for this number. This is ammunition. You can do this on other websites like CarMax, and you can take it to dealerships, but you want to get actual buy numbers. Now, when you're doing this online, make sure you're actually describing your car the right way. Don't put in it's perfect. I promise you, your trade-in, it's not perfect. Nobody has a perfect trade-in. And if it's maybe has 1,000 miles on it, it's perfect. Go around, look at the tires. Is there damage on it? Like there's some stone chips on my car. This is going to devalue your trade. So if you put your car in perfect and it's not perfect, the dealership you're actually doing business with is not going to give you perfect trade-in value. They are going to deduct for the damage. Now, keep this in mind. You get a tax credit in a lot of states when you trade in your car. So if your car is worth $10,000, let's say this is worth $10,000, and the taxes in my state are 6%. Well, I'm going to save $600 in taxes. So let's say Carvana was giving me $10,500 and the dealership only wanted to give me $10,000. It's actually more advantageous for me to trade it in, and I'm actually getting $10,600 when you look at the tax credit. But you need to know what your car's worth. Do not walk into a dealership blindly and have no clue what your car's worth. You're probably going to get taken advantage of. Some dealerships like mine, we just tell you what your car's worth. I don't care what you think it's worth or what number you've been told. We tell you what we want to buy it for, and that's the number. We don't play games. Here's what your car's worth. Some dealerships might ask you, hey, do you know what your car's worth? And if you say no, they're going to hit you with a super low price and try to take advantage of you. So you want to know what your car's worth when you're going into a dealership so you get the most money for your trade-in. Let's head to tip number 3. It's the most important one. I find this so hard to believe. Half the people watching this video aren't subscribed to my page. Please hit that subscribe button so I can keep making cool, fun, and entertaining videos that will educate you guys so you can always get the best deal when buying a car. Let's get back to the video. Tip number 3, it's no secret that dealerships make money off financing. So you want to get pre-approved, but how do you do this the right way? First and foremost, you want to find out whether it's online or by calling the dealership. Do they have advertised rates? What are advertised rates? So a lot of new cars have subvented rates. That means that the manufacturer is giving you a rate well below what you can get at any bank in the world. For example, where I work at a Lincoln dealership, right now we have 0%, 1.9 and 2.9. And right now in 2025, you can't beat that at any bank. I don't care who you bank with. But on our used cars, we have no advertised rates, meaning we'd have to send it over and see what a bank will be willing to give us. So you want to make sure you get pre-approved so you don't get taken advantage of, because dealerships make money off this stuff. So the higher the rate they charge you, the more money they make. So I'd recommend going to your local credit union or a bank you do a lot of business with and getting a real approval. Don't get a fake one. Don't just find out what the rates are online. Actually run your credit and find out what the rate you qualify for is. That way you can use it as leverage to have the dealership beat your rate. Because since dealerships give so many banks so much business, we usually get better rates than the bank itself actually gives to consumers, because we give them hundreds, thousands of loans a month at some dealerships. So we get preferred rates and we can usually beat the pre-approval rate, but there's nothing to beat if you're not actually pre-approved. So when you go to a dealership, you want to make sure you know what you're pre-approved for. Let's recap all of this. Buying a car is challenging because there's a lot of things you're trying to negotiate at one time. What kind of car are you buying and how much are you going to pay for it? Your trade-in value, the interest rate. We're not even going to talk about it in this video, but there's extended warranties you could talk about, gap insurance, tire and wheel protection, all these different things going on at once, which is why the dealership normally wins, because we do this every day, and you as the consumer do this once every 3-4 years. Some people do this every year, but the average person buys a new car once every 5 years. So this is challenging for a lot of people to do. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this video. Either watch my latest podcast or my latest video for more content like this. Follow RussFlipsWhips.